In a world that glorifies instant fame and instant success, it's easy to forget that the greatest minds were often the ones who struggled the most. Albert Einstein, known today as one of the most brilliant thinkers in history, wasn't always destined for greatness. He was once seen as a misfit, a child who struggled with school and was overlooked by many. But behind the famous equations and groundbreaking theories, there's a story of persistence, failure, and the relentless pursuit of understanding that changed the world. Today, we explore the life of Albert Einstein, not just the genius, but the man who faced personal and societal challenges that nearly broke him. His story isn't just about science. It's about the power of resilience, the courage to defy expectations, and the legacy of a mind that refused to quit. Albert Einstein was born on March 14, 1879, in Ulm, Germany. His early life was far from what one might expect from someone who would eventually alter our understanding of the universe. As a child, he was slow to speak, and he didn't excel in school, particularly in the areas his teachers valued. At one point, his teacher dismissed him as a poor student. He was often described as difficult because he had trouble adhering to the structured education system, which seemed to stifle his natural curiosity. Einstein's story is a reminder that greatness doesn't always come with instant recognition or early success. His disinterest in rote memorization and conventional methods made him a misfit in school. In fact, some teachers even doubted his intellectual abilities, which makes his later achievements all the more remarkable. But what those early critics failed to recognize was his unique ability to think outside the box. Einstein's mind was always questioning, always analyzing the world around him. It was a mind that wouldn't conform to traditional boundaries. And that's what would lead him to the greatest scientific discoveries of his time. He didn't fit the mold, and that's exactly why he succeeded. As Einstein navigated through his schooling, he began to realize that he didn't fit the mold of a traditional academic. In an era where education was rigid and largely based on memorization and repetition, Einstein's inquisitive nature couldn't thrive. He wasn't interested in regurgitating information he didn't understand. He wanted to understand the underlying principles. This struggle against conformity would follow him through much of his early life. Even as he entered the University of Zurich, Einstein faced obstacles. The university was filled with students who were well prepared for the structured path of education, but Einstein was different. He didn't always attend lectures, and he often clashed with professors who valued conformity over creativity. But what he lacked in conventional academic success, he more than made up for with curiosity and a passion for the unknown. In his solitude, Einstein began to form the ideas that would eventually lead him to reshape the world of physics. His ability to question accepted wisdom, to challenge the way people thought about space, time, and energy set him apart. He wasn't interested in fitting in with the academic system. He was interested in changing it. Albert Einstein's life and legacy are more than just a collection of scientific theories. His journey was one of struggle, perseverance, and ethical reflection. He overcame personal hardships, defied the expectations of his time, and changed the course of history. And through it all, he remained committed to the idea that knowledge should be used to serve humanity. As we reflect on Einstein's life, we can take away valuable lessons about the importance of perseverance, the courage to think differently, and the responsibility we all have to use our knowledge for good. Let Einstein's story remind us that no matter the obstacles in our way, we too can leave a lasting legacy if we remain true to our curiosity and our vision. By the time Einstein published his theory of general relativity in 1915, he had already made his mark on the scientific world. But it wasn't until 1919, when his theory was experimentally confirmed by British scientists observing a solar eclipse, that his fame spread globally. This moment would make Einstein an international celebrity, and with that fame came both admiration and resentment. In addition to his professional successes, Einstein also faced personal struggles. He went through a tumultuous marriage with his first wife, Mileva Maric, which ended in divorce in 1919. He had two sons, Hans Albert and Eduard, but his personal life was far from stable. Einstein's fame also drew unwanted attention from political groups, especially as Nazi Germany rose to power. Being of Jewish descent, Einstein faced increasing hostility in his homeland. In 1933, as the Nazis came to power, Einstein, who had always been vocal about his opposition to authoritarian regimes, fled to the United States. He took a position at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, where he would continue his work. But despite the change in scenery, the struggles in his personal life didn't end. The inner turmoil he experienced, particularly in regard to his involvement in the development of the atomic bomb, weighed heavily on him. Einstein's contributions to science were monumental. His theory of relativity fundamentally changed our understanding of the universe, and his work in quantum mechanics paved the way for new scientific advancements. But Einstein's legacy isn't just about his scientific discoveries, it's about his philosophy on life, the responsibility that comes with knowledge, and his commitment to human progress. Einstein, deeply conflicted about the implications of his work, famously wrote a letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, urging the development of an atomic bomb in response to the possibility that Nazi Germany might build one first. He was instrumental in the creation of the bomb, though he later regretted his involvement, famously saying, "If I had known that the Germans would not succeed in developing an atomic bomb, I would have never lifted a finger." This internal conflict remains one of the most complex aspects of his legacy, a reminder that even the greatest minds wrestle with the consequences of their actions. But through it all, Einstein remained a vocal advocate for peace. He spoke out on civil rights issues, promoted democratic values, and condemned war. His work in science was always grounded in his belief that knowledge should be used to improve humanity, not destroy it. Albert Einstein's life is a testament to the power of perseverance and the value of thinking independently. He was often misunderstood, rejected by the establishment, and even ostracized for his beliefs. But despite all of this, his curiosity and unwavering dedication to science led him to discoveries that would change the world. So, what can we learn from Einstein? First, his story shows us the importance of perseverance. It teaches us that rejection and failure are not the end. They are simply part of the journey. Einstein faced countless obstacles, yet he continued to push forward. He knew that real progress comes not from avoiding failure, but from learning how to rise after each setback. Second, Einstein's life encourages us to think differently. In a world that often values conformity, he showed us that real breakthroughs come from those who are willing to question the status quo. His ideas weren't immediately accepted, but he knew they were true. His work didn't fit the narrative of the time, and yet it reshaped the entire field of physics. Finally, Einstein's life reminds us of the importance of using our knowledge for good. His involvement in the atomic bomb development, followed by his advocacy for peace, shows us that knowledge carries a great responsibility. The legacy of science is not just about discovery, it's about how we apply those discoveries to make the world a better place.